This is what you call classic Tinashe.
Still it's like
What is up, guys? What is up, guys? As you can see in the title, we are going to talk about some music today. And that music is from one of my favorite, well, was one of my favorite artists, and that is Tinashe. There is a curious case about Tinashe. For me personally, I think she's fell off completely off course from what she was doing with some of her mixtapes and albums that she did, aka Blackwater, Aquarius, and Amethyst, the mixtape. It's been kind of bothering me, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like she has such a unique story, but she doesn't tell it anymore like she did with her last 3 albums that I just mentioned. I listened to her music, or at least tried to keep up with her music lately, and it just doesn't have that same finesse, it doesn't have that same flavor that all her other stuff had. So, there's a little backstory for people who don't know who Tinashe is. She's half Zimbabwean, she's half white. Her dad's obviously black and from Zimbabwe, and that's where she gets her name, her last name, and all that stuff like that. And then her mom is from Iowa. Tinashe had this unique sound that I haven't heard from any R&B person for a while, and it was her African roots were heavily influenced, but it wasn't like forced. It was just kind of like a story that she's telling that just so happens to be, you know, emphasized on her African heritage. It brought me specifically, probably especially since I'm African, just like a deep, different perspective. Plus, she had a dreamy voice. She had a great beat selection on her music. Her name was unique. She was very beautiful, of course, as you can see. There's no doubt about that. All that combined kind of made me very, very interested into Tinashe. Then I started watching interviews about her, and then she seems like a down-to-earth person. Well, at least at that time, down-to-earth, not focused on as much on celebrityisms, or she was just basically focused on herself. So, 3 mixtapes, actually 3 things, 2 mixtapes and 1 album changed, I feel like, her career for life. And one of that especially being Blackwater. I'm gonna play a few songs from Blackwater so you can understand like why I loved it. I'm gonna break down some of the tracks, and I'm just gonna listen to some of the other tracks that I really, really enjoyed during that time. But it was very, very refreshing to hear this type of music, especially in 2013 when R&B was kind of at a stalemate. So yeah, we're gonna go hit into Blackwater. I'm only gonna play a few tracks, so just bear with me. I'm gonna have timestamps and time codes inside of the links in the comment section and the link in the description. But if you want to fast forward, all that jazz. First track is Blackwater. Name of the album. Like, I'm gonna break this down a little bit. It has just a bunch of instrumentals inside of it, but I'm gonna talk over it. So if you're expecting to listen to the song while you're watching this video, it's probably not gonna be the best experience for you. Anyway. Yeah. So now I'm in a world of Tinashe, and then her voice is so dreamy that it's like, okay, close your eyes and you can imagine, like, just basically it's just the atmosphere. So now you're probably kind of hear very similar atmospheric songs relating to how this mixtape is put together. A lot of these are skits, but Before the Storm is the next song, and I'll break down more, but let's listen to that.
And this could cause extensive, catastrophic damage. I'm not just making this stuff up. I want people to really pay attention to this.
So as you can hear, like, it's just an atmospheric thing, even with the skit that she did before, which was called Before the Storm. That's the second track. And she kind of sets up kind of like a scenario that goes on. It's like just kind of a mood that you're about to get into. And then you can hear, oh, catastrophic, yada, yada, yada. And then Secret Weapon, which is the next song, is playing. And you heard that harsh boom. So you kind of expected it. It didn't catch you probably didn't catch you off guard because of how it was set up previous track. So that was The Secret Weapon. That's not the song I really wanted y'all to hear. I wanted y'all to hear more of like Midnight Sun, One For Me, Stunt, Just a Taste the Middle of Nowhere. Those are like my favorite songs on the track. And fun fact, Travis Scott is also on this album. So the next song I'm gonna play for you guys is Videotapes, and that introduces Midnight Sun. And I want you guys to pay attention to how this like just kind of transitions into that song.
Which is the traditional language of people in Zimbabwe. Saina, saina wanyambari, aye we, uzona saina.
I want you guys to just pay attention to the background vocals, bro. Like, it is so dreamy. You're in an atmosphere. You're like in a space or like a cave, and then you just listen to this and it has like gemstones in the cave. I don't know how to explain this, but it just feels that way. The background vocals make this song very contained in its own world. Do you hear the background vocals like, it sounds like now I'm like in a safari, like in Africa. Like it sounds like, not traditional African music, because obviously it's different depending on the region, but like this seems like it's introducing me to something she's listened to that is traditionally African on her side, like in Zimbabwe or something. This part is just crazy, man. Still a classic.
That's a classic.
Jeez. Hold up. As you can tell, like if you heard that doom, doom, like in the background, it's so subtle that you could probably miss it if you just like listen surface level, but it has African influences inside of this R&B. At this time, I've never heard anything like that, and it's just that it's so surreal that she mixes it with atmosphere and she layers it with traditional African sounds, and then a bunch of other things. Her vocal range is high, like it's pretty good. But that song is one of the best songs in my opinion on this mixtape project album, whatever you want to call it. The next two songs, or next three songs I'm going to play you, are what kind of defines the whole album as a whole in my opinion. This song is called One For Me. I have fond memories of listening to Imogen Heap, but she sampled this, and maybe this is what helped me even solidify her, Tinashe's stance in music with me. But we're gonna play One For Me by Tinashe, and then I'll point out a few things in this song that I really enjoyed. One For Me is one of my favorite songs on there as well, because not only the Imogen Heap sample that she did, but the fact that she had a bunch of like airy kind of voice along that kind of flowed in with the sample. So that was One For Me, and that was one of my favorite songs as well on this album, and I think, or mixtape, that defines this mixtape. From like Blackwater until the 6th song, which is One For Me, it's a constant atmosphere that you're living in. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this song. Hold on. Okay, I forgot about this song. So I'm gonna just go through this whole entire mixtape. F what I said earlier about picking up few songs. Let me go out through the whole thing. So there's a skit called Daybreak, and basically it sets up this for this song called Fugitive. Fugitive is, I wouldn't say one of my favorite songs, but it's really consistent with this whole mixtape vibe. We're playing that right now. So if you could just listen to the song, it's so cinematic. If you hear the lyrics that she's talking about, she's basically saying somebody who's manipulative or something along those lines, and the music matches the scenario that she's speaking about. This is what you call perfect music making, in my honest opinion. You set up a concept, you make the track go along with what you're talking about in terms of like sound wise, and then the lyrics you say are good, like along those lines as well, and then you can place this in a movie if you want to and have your own, you can just run with your imagination in this song, to be honest. The next song we're gonna look at is Stunt. This was at the time one of my favorite songs because I had a lot of energy, but nowadays it's more okay than what I used to think of it. Next song is Stunt. This is still a good song, don't get it twisted. It's just the fact that I don't have that same feeling as I used to when I was back in Iowa.
Fuck your opinion. You should keep it personal. Because you gon' regret the day you ran the second of right.
Hold up.
I'm talking about some shit you never get to do. Tryna get me on some stunning shit. I'm still on you. I'm still on you. I'm still on you. I'm still on you. I ain't the bitch. And just when you're getting kinda comfortable, I switch it up. Just when they think that they.
Do y'all hear that? The subtleness, like her humming is like Kid Cudi level of humming in the background. Like that song, like has so many subtle good ways of showing itself, like that humming in the background, the layers that she put on this song. It's a pretty good song. It doesn't have the same weight as it used to back in the day when I first heard this, but at the same time, it's by no means a bad song. Next song is Just a Taste. I forgot how this one sounds, to be honest, but I know the next 3 after Just a Taste are pretty good as well. I remember this song now.
First seeing you out in public, you was feeling me and I love it. There was something about the way you came up to me today, approaching me on some luxury. And now I can't seem to get you off of my mind.
So that was Just a Taste. It's more of a typical R&B song, more so than it is from like the other songs that I've played. It's more typical, and it still does justice for me. It's still very summery. It's still, you can play it in the winter. It's an all season song. I'm gonna play Middle of Nowhere, which is the one I really love on this mixtape album, whatever you want to call it. This is what solidified this as a great mixtape. I'm gonna play it and then I'll tell you about it afterwards. As you can hear, like, you can hear the atmosphere being like laid out. It's crazy.
In the desert when I heard your name. In the desert sand where we were late. When the sky turns into red, I'll be
Jeez. As you can tell, like, listening to this song reminded me of being in my dorm in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. Like, I probably think that is why I like this song so much, is because of that simple fact. I'm playing Vulnerable by Travis Scott, and then I'll have my final thoughts.
Once upon a time, I was all alone. Show me what you want, give me what you want.
Jeez. The song is called Vulnerable, and she's being insecure right now, which is being vulnerable to her partner, which in this song is Travis Scott. This song is just like, it's probably not the most sonically pleasing as some others are, but this song is just like, just the whole concept and context of this song is just really good.
You know what? I'm that crazy motherfucker from the dust. You the angel out of hell from the crust. And the planet on this world we ain't touch.
Very Travis.
When your ass up the fuss. And the crazy little face when you cuss. You know my crazy ass is nut hand on the wheel hand and my elephant touch. Fuck that you won't give me loud. Shut the fuck up. That's why I'm in it. I can't get out.
That is what you call a classic mixtape. Literally 13 tracks, beautifully flowed. The first half is more African centric, and then the next few is more pop. Those are the ones that set her stand inside of the R&B pop industry. I honestly feel like she fell off because she tried to go pop instead of R&B, because all three of her projects that I mentioned were R&B. Me personally, I just didn't like the fact that she went full pop, bubble pop and all that stuff like that, and then just try to make very popular music instead of music from her creative mindset and all that stuff like that. Now she went pop, it kind of deterred me from listening to her music. She did try to go back to R&B, but it just didn't sound the same because it still had that pop stench, I guess you would call it for lack of better terms. So I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. So yeah, man, that's my gist about Tinashe. I wish she would put Blackwater on Spotify because that's still one of my favorite R&B mixtapes of all time. But yeah, man, I'm really disappointed. I wish that she would make something very more coarser R&B with authenticity. And yeah, I just want to get this video out to you guys because you guys need to witness what I witnessed when I listened to Tinashe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to do more videos concerning music that I like or stuff like that. Similar to this fashion where I just kind of like dissect it a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me, guys. I will catch you in my next video. Peace.